Does God hide? I'm sure that is a question you are not expecting. Does God hide? What do I mean by that? Well, we're going to look at this in depth, but you know those times, those moments when you and I, we go to God and whatever it is we need. So whether it's a dream that has never been fulfilled, whether it's sometimes it's so much more urgent and pressing, and we need a mighty God to move on our behalf and quickly. In those moments when we go to him but you don't seem to get any direction. We don't seem to hear his voice. He's not taking action. You know, and this is the times when if we're not careful, we can really derail ourselves. And this is where we start thinking, well, hang on. How can a loving God, knowing how important this is, how can he ignore me? And God, you're the one that says that we can come boldly into your throne of grace when we have a need. So how is it God, you know, we start second guessing ourselves. Has God turned his back on me? Is this just not his will? Is there some sin in my life I just can't think of? If we're not careful, we can wind up going down a path of frustration and disappointment. And so does God hide himself? And how should we respond? Now, we're talking about living a God-powered life. And God wants to work in you, through you, and do the absolute amazing. And so we talked about learning to trust. Those times when God takes us to the place we just don't understand. And letting God lead, where we let him take the initiative. He has the master plan, and we're responding. And by doing that, watching how God does even more than we could ever imagine. But how do we respond in those times when it's like, God, where are you? God, you're not, God, I have a need. I'm coming to you. And God, where are you? So does God hide himself? Well, on a side note, in Isaiah, it actually says, you are a God who hides yourself. But Andrew Murray said it in a way that I think will really be helpful to us in really learning to live a God-powered life. Now, Andrew Murray was a 19th century South African preacher, and he really understood our relationship with a living, loving God. And he wrote a number of books, and one of them, which I highly recommend, is called With Christ in the School of Prayer. Now, in this book, Andrew Murray said it this way. And so he said, yes, you're a God who hides yourself. When we come to you chiefly concerned about our thoughts and our needs. And he goes on, he says, to God is a matter of such great importance that we learn to know him and to fully trust him, that he takes us through the school of delayed answers. So how do we respond? So when we go, God, where are you? We're not hearing. There's a real simple answer. But you know, God actually says it himself. In Isaiah, God says it, this is the New Living Translation. God says they come to me wanting me to act on their behalf, pretending they want to be near me. And that sounds pretty harsh, but I don't want us to take it as a rebuke. I want us to take it as an encouragement, because I've done it. And I'm sure you have too. Those times when that thing we think we need so bad, we're going to him and we're not even thinking about him. It's so much we want that fulfilled. We want that taken care of. And so let's learn to set that aside. See, when you're not hearing, when I'm not hearing from God, let's not go down that trail of his God turning his back on us. Where are you, God? God is right there. He knows exactly what you and I want and what you and I need. But what we need more than what we think we need is a deeper relationship with him. So let's learn to take that need, set it to the side momentarily. Forget about it for the moment. Even though it feels like if it's not dealt with right now, it's going to be too late. Let's just set it aside. And let's pursue him. See, what's more important, what we need more than anything else, is more of him. What's going to bring us greater fulfillment for me, we have to learn. I have to learn. I need more of him. And in that fulfillment, as we get more of him, God will take care of this. See, God made these great promises, one of which is delight yourself in the Lord, and he'll give you the desires of your heart. So that thing we think is so important, so urgent, that's a tool that God is using to say, hey, I want you to just take a moment, focus on me, put your needs and your thoughts aside and just focus on me. And as we do so, we will get so much more. We'll get so much more fulfillment, contentment, happiness. And oh, by the way, that other thing will be taken care of. You know what? We feel like if we don't cling tightly to it, it's not going to happen. But you know what? Just set it aside. Let's focus on God. And I'll leave you with this thought. You know, it's funny. As I was preparing for this yesterday, my youngest son, Alex, comes to me. Now, I'm on the phone. So instead of interrupting me, what does he do? And he wants something. He has a need. And to him, it was really urgent. But what does he do? He just comes and he lays his head on my shoulder and waits. Just waits for me to finish. To live God-powered, let's draw close to him. And when we don't hear from him, it's that opportunity to get closer.